I wanted to make a quick video because we're gonna discuss, you know, making rash decisions when you're upset, you know? And ultimately, stupid lapses of judgment, alright? So, like, for example, alright, say you're trying to, avoid paying a judgment because a court ordered that you have to pay somebody that you don't like money that you owe them. All right. So, like, say, for example, you have to go ahead and pay, half of everything you own, because all, gained assets, throughout the entire length of your, relationship, marriage, and all that. All right. Has to go ahead and be paid. All right. So then you try to claim, which, by the way, a bankruptcy is not going to go ahead and wipe a judgment like this from somebody's record. So let's say, for example, you feel like being petty, all right? So the court ordered that's both of your stuff, all right? Ultimately, you now have to split the value of the assets, all right? But you decide, no, I feel like they don't deserve anything. I'll be damned if they're going to get anything from me because I feel slighted. All right? So you try doing something maliciously, malicious compliance, per se, creative solution. So let's say you do something stupidly, like you take every physical belonging, even individually acquired asset, of the other person's, and you decide, you know, we have to split everything in half. So you decide, I'm feeling petty. So what do? You decide to invest in a chainsaw. All right? Not only do you invest in a chainsaw, but you also hire somebody, quote unquote, independent contractor, to do some creative home renovations. All right? Now, with that chainsaw, as well as a welding torch and everything like that, you decide, all right, so we got to split everything down the middle. So you take that chainsaw and you cut all that furniture in half, all right? You go ahead and try to also, like, say, for example, you have shared real estate. And you decide, I'd rather just go ahead and have it destroyed rather than them be able to live in it or get any type of equity out of it. So you hire somebody to, without the, other person that you're trying to avoid paying anything to. And you, let's say, for example, have that, creative construction crew to go ahead and, say, for example, split the house in half, Keep in mind, I didn't say in a direction. I just said splitting the house in half. All right? Ultimately, it could have been split down the half in the factor of vertically, to physically make the structure of said house to not be able to stand, or split it horizontally. So you have the entire house cut in half. All right? And then you have somebody with, example, a flatbed, go ahead and take the top half of that house, so that house no longer has a roof. That house no longer has the top half of said house, all right? So they take that and they haul that top half away, all right? And you ultimately try to obstruct the other person from being able to see the physical destruction of property, all right? And basically end up saying, like, well, the court said I had to give, the person that, I felt slighted. They said that they were to get half of everything. So, ultimately, I just took my half, relocated it, and the rest is their problem to deal with. Including any physical property that may have been in that other half, that has been subjected to the elements. So, let's say I took all their physical belongings, relocated it to that destroyed house, and ultimately everything that got rained on, everything that, ultimately, they ultimately are going to have to figure out how to take all their worldly possessions and go ahead and start from nothing because everything got destroyed. Understand, the court is not going to take as a defense, well, you ordered that I have to go ahead and, split everything in half, that asset-wise, assets needed to be split down the middle. So, now they had a choice on which half they wanted. The half that got relocated to whatever destination via flatbed, or the half that had all those physical possessions that they had sentimental value towards that ended up getting destroyed by the elements, and, ultimately choose what they do with that. Understand, the court will never rule in your favor as far as you not going to prison for an elongated time, and despite the factor of quote-unquote your property, maliciously complying in such a manner would no doubt rack you up a lot of felonies. Not to mention that, but ultimately, the restitutions that you would have to pay, regardless whether you like the person or not, would be fully exorbitant. All right? It would be fully we are talking every penny of everything that got destroyed. The court would force you to have to pay everything, wages garnished and everything. And understand too, if there's, like, say, for example, a custody battle, all right? The party that chose to pull such a malicious act, with evidence of such a malicious act being pulled, don't ever expect that the court will rule in the favor of them for custody. So, just keep that in mind, but this is hypothetical.